Okay, so I just skipped the intro and all of that. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do that. First it was too long, and then it was still kind of too long, and I don't really know what I want to put. I just spliced a bunch of random stuff together, but anyways, that's not the point. And I apologize about the noise. I have the AC down low. It's hot. It's like 90 degrees today, and I'm in my work truck, so it doesn't have any mufflers on it. That wasn't my doing. It was already like that when I got it. I really should put some, well, I'm not putting any money into this thing, actually. Moving on. So I was listening to Gail Banks' podcast, Speed School, and if you haven't checked that out, check it out. And if you don't know who Gail Banks is, look that up. I don't know how anyone, well, in my world, everyone knows who Gail Banks is. Gail Banks is the king engineer of modern hot rodding. I think that may be a good word. And a lot of diesel, big time diesel. You probably heard of Banks Power. That's Gail Banks. But he mentioned something that I thought was very interesting that I had not heard anyone else mention. And that was about the new Hummer that's electric. And this is something that I had not thought about, and I haven't seen anyone else talking about it. But he said this new Hummer weighs something like 9,500 pounds or something like that. That may not be right, but somewhere 9,000 pounds at least. I'll look it up and put it in here. And I don't know how much all these other electric cars weigh either, but I'm sure that they are heavier too. Okay, so here we are. I am about 10 hours past the video from my truck when I was talking about the weight of the electric cars, and now I have looked up the weight of the electric cars, and I try to do a comparison of the weight of the electric cars versus one of their gasoline competitors. I didn't spend a lot of time on this. I just tried to find something a similar size, a similar price range. So as you can see from these photos, some of these weights aren't too off from the others, and some of them are a little bit more. But with the increase in range and battery capacity that we're likely to see, I feel these weights are going to get heavier. I'm not really sure what the Hummer competes with, but that's a pig right there. 9,000. But even if you negate the whole weight topic, you just crumble it up and then it's gone. You still have to have gasoline and diesel fuel revenue or tax revenue to pay for the road construction. The roads are still going to wear out. But so where is that money going to come from if all vehicles go electric? You know, you hear the word infrastructure. We don't have the infrastructure to support electric cars. And when you hear that, they usually say something like, California has rolling blackouts. They said, don't plug in your car on Labor Day weekend. And Texas has power grid problems. The whole western part of the United States, you know, Montana, South Dakota, all out there is vast. I would imagine you could go days without seeing another human being. But all that weight is hard on the roads. So where I live at, in North Alabama, the roads are pretty good here, unless you get way off in the sticks somewhere. And then you have some creeks you can drive through and there's no bridge, and a lot of weight-restricted bridges. Main roads, like 565 that goes through Huntsville, I swear they pave that road every year. I feel like they paved that road every year for the last 10 years. And that may be an exaggeration, but it's not much of an exaggeration. I know they paved it, then they paved it and added another lane, and I don't know what the hell they're doing to it right now, but when I'm on my way home from work, they're paving some more. So Huntsville has really blown up over the last 10 years. There have been all these, used to be back roads, Greenbrier Road, if you know where that's at, Old Highway 20, all in that area, like Seegers area. Used to be the middle of nowhere, you know, boonies. And now there's a 4-lane highway through there, pretty much, I guess is what you would call it. Old Highway 20 is now, looks better than regular Highway 20. But when they were building all of this, there was, of course, a ton of dump trucks coming through. And they were having to constantly keep up with working on these roads. You know, they work on these roads over and over and over and over. I'm about to get on 565, by the way. But they were constantly having potholes, and I'm not talking about little potholes. These were huge potholes. Huge. Like, I mean, you would lose a Volkswagen in these potholes. And they would repair the pothole, not even a week later, because you have all these dump trucks going across it and all this industrial area. So you have a lot of shipping, a lot of big trucks, tractor trailers, and while you're having the dump trucks go back and forth and the trucks hauling the heavy equipment, and so all this weight is hard on the roads. And so, okay, you say no big deal. We'll just have to spend more money on roads. I mean, a whole lot of our tax dollars are wasted anyways. But here's the problem that I see. We have this whole Build Back Alabama thing here, where they had a gas tax increase. Gas tax is paying for all of these road projects and all of this road construction and everything. So, oh, and I looked up Tennessee to see if maybe are they the same, just because that's the closest other state to me. So I figure a lot of states are like this. The old article I found, so it's probably changed by now, but I don't imagine it would have went down, since these type of things usually go up over time. But this that I found was from 2003, and it said in 2003, 41% of Tennessee's road construction budget came from gasoline and diesel fuel tax. So I should also say, I like electric cars. I'm not hating on them, but I still see both sides. I like my Fairlane has a points ignition, and it's going to have a points ignition when I get done, because there's nothing wrong with the points ignition. That's a whole other topic. But the Mach-E, I like the Mach-E. I don't know how much it weighs either, but I'm assuming these are all heavier. But if the Hummer is 9,000 pounds, and if we go to all electric, a lot of people are going to want to get the Hummer, because, I mean, look at how many SUVs are on the road. That's the most popular, at least in my area, that's the most popular vehicle that there is. And so, and I'm sure they'll make more electric SUVs that will be just as heavy, if not heavier than that. And if you have all of this weight going on these roads all the time, it's going to be like when they were doing the construction with the dump trucks going around. They're having to fix potholes every week. But now they don't have the gas tax revenue coming in to pay for the road construction. So where the hell is that money going to come from? The electric companies will raise their rates. Of course they'll raise their rates. They've already raised their rates. I just don't know how they plan on doing that. How are they going to pay for this? Or even if the cars don't weigh all that much, they're still going to have to do road construction, because they're going to weigh at least as much as a regular car. But I never even thought about the weight of an electric car. I just thought, yeah, I want one. I would like a Mach-E. I really like those. A lot of folks don't like it because they call it a Mustang, and they say it's not a Mustang. I'm kind of on the team of, I see what you're saying, but it's Ford's nameplate. They own it, so they can make it whatever they want. At the same time, I would have liked to have seen that car be called, I would have liked to have seen the Galaxy nameplate or Comet or something. To me, in my head, I would think, you know, electric, future, space, kind of all. They mingle in my brain. But am I missing something here? Am I missing something? One thing I should really say more is like, subscribe, comment, interact. This is the biggest part of my social life right now, is YouTube. And I would like to get some more subscribers, or even, I don't even really care about that as much as I would just like to hear other people's thoughts, their opinions on stuff like this, or stuff like my Fairlane. I know a lot of people don't like the way I'm doing the engine. I wouldn't imagine. I don't really like it myself, the way I'm doing it, but I'm just trying to get it running so I could gain interest in it, because if it was running and driving, I would just be more interested in working on the rest of it. See you next time, probably Friday.